Hello and welcome back to some City Skylines. I have put in so many mods since last time, so we got some new stuff to look at here. And what I've been working on since the last video is this park, because I went and downloaded new trees, new rocks, new flowers. I got a whole slew of new buildings that we get to look at. A couple other new things. We'll get to it. I downloaded so much stuff I couldn't even name it off if I wanted to. But over here is our new park that I started designing. This park is much more about nature than it is about like a campus kind of ground, but we'll go over it here. Now, you might notice the very first thing here that I downloaded was this giant tree. Okay, you want to talk about redwoods? I found us a freaking redwood, and it's a real redwood, okay? Now, you might remember, or you might know if you play this game, that the default biggest tree, at least in the map climate that I'm playing in, are these huge wild conifers. And look how much this tree dwarfs these huge wild conifers. So I knew that I was gonna have to build a park around this huge tree, and I did. I found these rocks. I've never built with rocks. I believe they're part of the base game. I don't think these are mods. To be honest, I don't know, because I went to the workshop and downloaded a whole slew of stuff. So I think these are base game though. So I made like a kind of rock nature park with this huge tree in the middle. And then there's some pathways. So basically how I started this park is I put the tree down, and then I put some rocks down, and then I laid the paths so I could kind of have a idea of how to make the rest of this park flow, you know? So we just have some huge rocks. You know, you can bring your kids here, let them play on the rocks, take pictures, whatever. Here in Missouri, we actually have a place called Elephant Rock, really close to where I live. Well, not really close, but you know, like within a day's drive that you could go visit. And so this was kind of my inspiration for this park. Very nature, very, you know, it's all about the natural landscapes that make the park special, you know? Now, down here for this little pathway, I did go in and plant fruit trees. Obviously, the fruit trees were not here when we started developing, but I, as a city planner, took it upon myself to, you know, spruce the place up a bit. It's nice to have fruit trees. You know, you can walk through the park, grab some citrus. I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea to me. You might also be noticing my new red flowers over here. I think they're supposed to be roses. They look like roses close up. You know, City Skylines isn't known for its good graphics close up. You know, this first person mod is a mod, so, you know, things don't look the greatest close up, but it does the job, and it looks very good from far away. You know, I'm happy with it. And look at that tree. That is a freaking redwood, okay? I thought about putting in a whole bunch of them, but look what happens when you kind of scroll out a little bit. It gets like this blocky texture, and I guess it has to do that because, I don't know, because it's such a large object. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't bother me too much when it's just the single tree. But I had like a whole line of them up over here, and like just a whole line of them looking like that, it just, I don't know, it kind of bugged me. When there's just one there, it's fine. I don't even notice it. But when you have like a whole wall there, oh, hold on, watch out. I have a Rottweiler, like teenager on my lap, so she's kind of making it difficult to use the keyboard. But she thinks she's a lap dog because her sister's a Pomeranian. It's a whole thing. Over here, you know, we have like a natural ravine. So I thought I used the map editor to put it in. But, you know, as far as the tourists know, this is a natural ravine. And I thought, you know, what a cool thing to have in the landscape. So we put a bridge over it. So, you know, you could, it's a tourist trappy thing to bring your parents when they come visit you for college. You can bring them to the park, and you know, your little brothers and sisters will go over the bridge 100 times because they think it's cool. And you know, there's some rocks down in the ravine. Let me see if I can look down in here. We got some plants growing in down growing in down there, like plants do. And you know, some rocks fell down in there like rocks do in a ravine. They roll down the hillside. These are also new, these trees. I believe these are just called oak trees. And there is a basic oak tree in the game, I think, but this model is much, much nicer. Let's get down on the ground and take a look. They throw quite a bit of shade, you know, actual shade. They're not like trees that, you know, hurl insults at... They're not like trees that hurl insults at you as you walk by. But they throw, like, actual shade, so you're not, like, burning up when you're walking through the park. So, you know, they look really nice. Whoever did, like, the bark texture on these trees and the leaves did a really good job. But the bark looks very good, in my opinion. You know, you can walk over this and, you know, peer over the side. When you're on the actual bridge, it doesn't look as far down. But, you know, it's fine. You walk over here, and there's a big redwood. So you can go left on the bike trail. I put a bike trail in because I put one in over at Foggy Park University campus. And I really liked it. It was kind of just a cool touch to have in the park. You walk over here. And we have these fir trees. I believe these are fir trees. Not 100% sure. Again, the bark on these trees looks really, really good. Default bark, you know, it's okay. This is a default tree, and it's pretty good. But these modded trees, the bark on them just looks really good. I put in some wildflowers over here. I figured, you know, letting the wildflowers grow up in between all these fir trees looks pretty nice. It looks nice from the sky, and when you're walking, it looks pretty nice too. I just put in some wild lavender, and this looks like thistle to me, maybe. I'm not really sure, but, you know, it added some color, so I wasn't complaining. And then we got the fruit tree walkway, which we went down. And over this way, we just have more fir trees. It's just a nice nature-like park, you know? When you need some fresh air and you need to be one with nature, even though you're in the city, this is the park you would come to. There's no rules at this park either. If you want to climb up the rocks, that's cool. If you just want to go put a blanket down in the middle of all the wildflowers and read a book or whatever, that works too. Get back up here. The bike path, let me show it to you, is this squiggly one all the way around the outside. So, you know, you get to ride around these little hills over here, ride around the wildflowers. Now, over here, you get to ride past this, which I forgot this was in. I saw Kiss for Luck play with it like a long, long time ago, and I forgot about it. It's a riding stable. How awesome is that? We're going to have a riding stable. You can come ride horses in the park. You know, I'm sure they'll let you bring the horses over here in this open pasture so you can ride around there. But I thought, what a perfect addition to this nature park to have horse riding right inside of it. I thought that was so cool. So we have horse riding. You can ride your bike. You know, you can stop and say hi to the horses. I know I would. I would have to stop and pet the horses every time. You know, as long as they weren't in service, you know, people pay to ride those horses. So over here we just have a couple more trees. You know, you can never have too much trees in a nature park, right? We have our Goliath one. He's our main attraction, okay? We do have a university on this park because, you know, we're gonna need one over here. I'm planning on building up all around the park. That's why we have this road here. I did opt in to use the avenues this time. Oh, is someone breaking in? Oh, someone's breaking into the to the university before we have it open. Get out of here. I did opt in to use the avenues. Ever since I used them over at Rosewood Park, I love the way the trees down the middle look. I don't know how convenient they're gonna be. Because I don't use them a lot, so I'm not sure if there's like some special, you know, special ways you're supposed to use avenues, but, you know, we're gonna figure it out together. Alright, Rottweiler, you're gonna have to get down. You're getting too big to be on my lap. Sorry. Okay. So this was my, like, main thing I've been working on. I added a skate park in here as well. I thought, that's a cool touch. You could ride your skateboard along the bike path as well. I make the rules in this city, so if I say it's okay, you can do it. A couple of... this is a children's park, so this is a couple of parks put together, but in my mind, it's all one park, right? So this is the kids park where you can let your kids play, and then I put this plaza over here, so, if you're a parent, you can come over here and sit with the other parents and talk or whatever. There is kind of too many trees in this park. If I had a child, I'd want to be able to keep my eye on them. So if I could delete some of these trees, I would, but I can't unless I go into asset editor. So I was just like, the parents will have to keep an extra close eye. It'll be fine. We don't have that kind of crime in my city, okay? So we don't have to worry about it. We do have people breaking into the university that's set to open, but, we can't get rid of all the crime. I'll unpause here so my city can make me some money. The whole time I was building this, I had it on speed 1. So I was building up some money. We're almost back up to 1 million. So this is the main park. What else did I do? Oh, let me show you. I want to go in from first person because it's the best from first person mode. So let me go over here, speed up a little bit. I made a river walk next to Rosewood Park, which is awesome. I'm loving it. But I want to show you from first-person view. I did slow down my first-person movement a little bit. I was watching some recent videos I made, and it's just a tad bit too fast, I think. So I slowed it down a little bit. But we're in Rosewood Park Residential District right now. And over here, you can see the island. That's the island. There's the river. And this is the boardwalk I made. And I freaking love this boardwalk. Or whatever you want to call it. See, we have the pathway here. It connects over to the island. And I did do kind of like a curved pathway over there because I thought it looked like it was going with the river, right? Like, if it was down in the river, this is the direction the river would pull it. I'm using a lot of hand signals that you can't see right now, but I thought it was a cool, architectural kind of tidbit to add. Just the little curving motion. I think it looks good. It looks good from the air, too. Might be able to see some new buildings. I don't... Oh, okay. That tall one directly in front of us, right under the little blue bird. That one is definitely new. We will be taking a look at it. But, we have the river walk here. It gets tons of traffic. Tons of people go between the island and Rosewood Park using it. That goes up into residential again. If you keep going down, though, look at what's in front of us. Okay, willow trees. That's a new mod. I thought those were amazing to put next to the river. They look awesome. We got some cattails, as you can see. But along this whole walk over to where the walkway turns into a bridge over there, I put down these white and yellow flowers to give it a nice springtime look. You're telling me you wouldn't want to walk to work on this pathway? This pathway is so relaxing. You're next to a river. You got the shady willows. You got the flowers, the cattails. I don't know. This is just... I love this part of town now. I spend a lot of time over here just kind of walking around in first person, placing some cattails where I thought they looked good. I went back and rearranged the willows a couple times, and I really like them now. Whoever did these willows did such a good job. But we just got the pathway here. It's just such a nice pathway with these flowers here. Over here, if you're walking this way, so if you're going towards the residential area or to the island, if you're walking this way, you just have a random field of lavender with a birch tree in it. Because I just, can you ever go wrong with just a field of lavender? I mean, in my opinion, you can't. And I put another little one over here. So as you're walking down the bridge, you can smell that lavender. Lavender has that really strong smell, and it smells amazing. Any new buildings we can see over here? Other than the big behemoth one, I don't think so. Keep going. We got some weeds growing up between the sidewalk cracks. You know what happens? It happens. Our landscaping division in our city here obviously is not keeping up. Lots of traffic here. Let me bring it to a bird's eye view a little bit here. Again, I went with the curved walkway over to the island. This walkway actually takes you directly to the stadium, which we will look at in a minute. And this just takes you over to Rosewood Park, like kind of proper, where you have the shops and the restaurants and the comedy clubs and the diners and the karaoke bars and, you know, the lively part of Rosewood Park. I did download a couple new, what are they, leisure buildings, because they were a lot of the same. Here's one here. We got the Jubilee Theater, or I'm sorry, the Foxwood Theater showing Jubilee. My bad. So, you know, we have a theater now. I thought that was awesome. I actually used to work in a performing arts theater. It was a performing arts theater. We also had a movie screen, though. So it was pretty cool. I downloaded a couple of them, though. Let's see if we can... Oh, a souvenir shop. I don't know if that's a mod, but that's new to me. It's pretty cool. I haven't seen that one. The Cracker Barrel Sing-Along Karaoke. Another theater. Apparently they're pretty popular. I'm not sure. Andy's just... some... Oh, Andy's Bowling, of course. Couldn't have a leisure place without Andy's Bowling. I don't know. We got the souvenir shop and the theater, so, you know, enough for now, I guess. Let me take you over to the other side of this walkway. This walkway is always busy. We got a tourist there. These power lines going in front. I really need to find another way, another area to connect the power lines to. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Throat's feeling a little dry. But I'm hoping to find somewhere else to drag these power lines across. You know, this is a place, this is a pathway that tourists are going to frequent a lot because it's directly right between the stadium and Rosewood Park. So you know, after the stadium lets out, everyone's going to want to go grab a drink, everyone's going to want to go grab a bite to eat, you know, or maybe they have tickets to a show after the game, whatever. So this is where everybody's going to go after the stadium lets out, right? So I don't want the tourists having to see these power lines being strung across here. It's not a good look. I'm thinking of planting willows all along this bank over here under the little blue bird. Willows and flowers. I want it to be a nice area to look at because, again, this is a tourist area, or it's going to be. So it needs to be looking nice. Did I do anything else? I did do a little bit of changes to Foggy Park campus because I was just playing with the flowers and all the new things that I got to play with and wanted to see how it worked. So I just added this little formal spoke. You know, we have these little sections, spokes, whatever you want to call them. And I just added a little formal one, you know. Maybe two kids in college get married. They want to have their wedding at the on college campus. I don't know. We got this formal park over here with an actual gazebo, which wouldn't be too bad to get married in. But, you know, when you're taking your wedding photos, you want to come over here under the willow or something. I just thought it was cool. It was honestly just me playing with the new stuff to see how it looked, how the textures worked together, how the textures looked next to the default, like, actual game textures, and they look pretty good. These are supposed to be roses, but these are, like, the biggest rose bushes I've ever seen. I mean, look at them compared to a person. They're as tall as she is. So those are some monster roses. You know, I'm not going to complain about big roses. So we got that, and I did zone some new areas, I thought. Maybe I was just thinking about over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, one thing that I discovered while doing this park was canals, you guys. And they work really weird though. See, when I first put the canal down, I put it down and I literally like waited for it to fill with water. I don't know if it's because like I play The Sims and when you put a pool down, it just automatically fills with water, right? So I was like waiting for it to fill with water and it never did anything. And I was like, oh yeah, water in this game is dynamic. So if I want water in the canal, I'm gonna have to connect it to the river. Well, right now, this dotted line is where I'm allowed to build. There's just no good river access to put in a canal because I really wanted a canal to run through this park because I thought it would be awesome because I was going to put bridges over it and we'd have like water to look at. It was going to be really cool. And then, of course, I was like, well, I have to like bring in water from the river and I wasn't going to cut through Rosewood Park or through the interstate. It was going to be too much. So, in the future, when I unlock some more land, I'm thinking of doing a canal area of our city. Maybe over here, put a whole bunch of canals through here, or maybe like over in this chunk of land, because they're right next to the river, so I'll be able to feed water into the canal. Hopefully, water in this game can be a bit tricky. So I am a little frightened, but I'm definitely going to try it because a canal city sounds awesome to me. Or a canal neighborhood, anyway. Oh, I put in a field of lavender over here just because. I mean, again, is there any bad time to have a field of lavender nearby? No, I don't think there is. Oh, the train station. I did put in a train station. You know, I was on a roll, kind of, because I wanted to move the train tracks, but in order to unlock train track, you have to build a train station. So I was like, well, okay, now I got to build a train station. And so one thing led to another, and I have a train station now. And it's kind of wonky, but it's just because I didn't want to tear out the interstate. I guess I could have went underground. I forgot that's a thing now, but it's whatever. It works, right? The tracks just go over the interstate. They pull in here. And we have a bus stop here with way too many people waiting. I have a taxi cab stand here, but I don't think the taxis are actually sitting here and waiting on people. So I'm going to put in a taxi cab, like, building. Can I just delete? There we go. Thought I was playing The Sims there for a minute. I was trying to click and drag it to sell it. These things happen when you play a couple different games. Alright, so now what happens? Okay, here come the taxis. That's what I want. Oh my god, that guy just ran through a crowd of people. Should we put the taxis? Because what? Well, I guess they're not going to pick up the people at the bus stop. I don't know. You know, they'll figure it out. They're smart. And then the train tracks just cross over here again. It gets a little wonky, I said, but you know, this whole area right here is just one big cluster bomb, you know, if you know what I mean. Oh, this is one of the really cool new buildings. I believe this is like from a New York pack. Glamour Daily Soaps. Is that like soap operas or like soaps? Like Daily Soaps began as a simple wish to feel warm comfort and styles to suit every figure. Well, is it a clothing company? Do you make soap to clean yourself with? Or are you a production company who makes soap operas? I don't know. Maybe they do all three. The building's pretty big. But the building itself is beautiful. I love this building. And I believe, like I said, it came from a New York building pack, maybe? I think I got a couple other New York buildings. We got these really sleek buildings now. Very futuristic looking. I got quite a few like that. There's actually one part over in the island that, like, these just popped up everywhere. We got 1, 2, well, I thought we had more. I was confusing these as being the same buildings. They have the same kind of pastel look, so they look kind of similar, but, you know, they're fine. They're like spires. Very modern looking again. Oh, these rounded, medium-sized buildings are new. They look pretty nice. For a while, though, they were everywhere. I don't remember where they were at, and they were everywhere, but there's a place on the map where there's like 10 of those freaking round buildings. So yeah, we got some more variety in the buildings, which is always nice. And started building the park over here. But I thought I would wait to fill in the park until you guys were watching. How long have I been going here? I don't know. I might cut the video here. We'll see how long the little initial tour went.